Once again, for those who are just joining us, you're welcome to the Nape YP Career Development Workshop 2023. And this is the final workshop of the series of workshops that we've had for the month. On this note, permit me to read out the brief profile of our speaker for today. Mrs. Tunbosun Afolayan is the first certified strategic communication management professional in West Africa, and her work as a sustainability and geoscience expert continues to play an important role in the energy industry. As a strategic business communication advisor, she is a recipient of various awards across multi-sectoral industries, which include the financial, water, solid minerals, and oil and gas sectors. A polymath, she holds varying postgraduate degrees in energy and sustainability from the University of Cumbria, leadership and entrepreneurship from China Europe International Business School, business analytics, economics and accounting from the Harvard Business School, geoscience from the Robert Gordon University, and she obtained a bachelor's degree in geology from the University of Ilorin here in Nigeria. A pioneer on many fronts, she was decorated as one of the 26 most inspiring Nigerian women in the Netherlands, where she currently resides. Awarded as its 2022 Nigerian Rising Women in Energy, she was Nape's first publicity secretary at the 2021-2022 leadership year, the first university assistant program chairperson in the 2016-2017 leadership year, and pioneer young professionals and student activities coordinator. And I'm one to testify that the first woman on all these positions in the association's 47 years of existence. Currently, she sits on the board of Women in Maritime and Energy Awards and the AAPG Board of Certification. As an advocate for improving the 3Ps, which is people, processes, and planet initiatives, she anchors her deep knowledge across these three sectors: communication, energy with a major in natural resources management and sustainability. She is passionate about corporate communications, and she helps organizations build an inclusive and equitable culture where people communicate effectively without bias and apprehension. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome our speaker for today, Mrs. Tunbosun Afolayan. You're welcome, ma'am.
Hello, everyone. And it's good to
Hi.
be here. I reckon this is home. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, loud and clear.
Good. I sent you my slideshow, and please do me the honor of projecting. I had to come out of a class to take this because life is in every places. So yeah, just do that for me. Okay. I want to turn my screen to be sure that this works. Does this work fine? Do you see me or you see me inverted?
You're inverted now. It was
I'm
okay the way
inverted.
it was
Okay,
before.
great. Okay, so I'm going to stick with that. Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. Is it afternoon on your end? Is afternoon here?
It's morning.
Pardon me, I'm 1 hour ahead. So good morning. One of the things I was going to say as an opening is that if you happen to listen to me on another forum where I'm not talking about communication, my profile is going to read very differently. And it's important to share that because a lot of people like to go through communication from a perspective of a constant. Communication is not a constant. Communication is about your audience. Communication is about what you are doing at that time and the message you want to pass across. And today we're talking effective networking strategies, attracting the right opportunities through strategic communication. When Flora sent me this, the first topic, I was a bit worried, because he read how to sell yourself. I'm like, never. We are adults. We will not sell ourselves. So it's got to be, what are we doing with the communication skill that we have? In further to break the ice, I would like to emphasize that communication itself is not a skill, the art of communicating. It is a lifelong habit. You don't have to learn to speak. You don't have to learn to converse. But what you have to do is that you have to learn to make your communication effective. And there's a difference, right? So when people tell you about public speaking, about effective communication, they are essentially saying, how are you passing your message across? So I thought to use that. So please, let's go to the next slide. So today, our focus is to do what? Is to support you, or my focus is to support you with the knowledge, the skills, and the strategies. There is always a method to every madness. When it looks like people just know what to do, it's because they are following the method. So when you find people who seem to know how to communicate, it's because they are following the method. And that's what people call strategy. But there is always a method to it. I hope that when we finish this, you're going to look back at yourself and say, oh, my confidence has kind of improved. That's important for me on a personal level. And also, I hope that you'll be able, coming away from this class, you'll be able to promote your idea. You'll be able to gain and establish meaningful connections. People have connections already. You have friends. You have 1,001 people that you interact with, but are they meaningful? The third thing is, importantly, fourth thing, pardon me, at the end of all of this, the whole aim is for you to thrive. The whole aim is for you to live fulfilling life. The whole aim is for you to celebrate the reason why you are here and to let everybody derive of your value. My non-negotiables is that I'm going to be talking Jesus. Yeah, you're not going to. I'm not those kind of speaker where you give constraints and say you can't talk Jesus. So when I say God, I mean Jesus, and I do not mean it from a disrespectful perspective. I mean it because that's the core of who I am. uh, and I always like that you feel free to express it also in your own way, because I know that people have gods, but I'm not ready to, go into the line of the sentiment of saying God in a technical or in a public speech. I'm not apologizing ahead. I'm just letting you know that when that happens, please don't get angry, because there's no need to, right? Because we must live fulfilling lives. So next slide, please. So now back to this, our crafted topic. I underlined certain word and I deliberately asked, I said, what is the style of this? And I hear it's a workshop. And when Sean was recounting all the workshops you've had, he also kept saying workshop, workshop, workshop. So a workshop style is different from a lecturing style. In a workshop, people engage. In a workshop, there is a lot of practicality. In a workshop, you answer questions and you apply immediately. So this is as hands-on as it can get. Networking, opportunities, and communications are our key anchor for this. Networking, opportunities, communication. If we remove all the fluff word, effective strategies, attracting, the right, true strategy, the three important things you must think after you leave this conversation is that, do I now know how to better network? Do I know how to identify opportunities, or do I know how to find opportunities? And do I know how to communicate when I am in the right network and I have the right opportunities? So these are my layer points for this conversation. Next slide, please. So we've all agreed that this is a workshop, it's not a lecture, and it's not a webinar. I'm not making a presentation. I'm guiding you through. If you need some few minutes to get maybe a pen and a paper, if maybe your aim is to come and listen, I would advise that you probably reconsider that, get a pen and a paper, and let's do something stimulating. Yeah. Next slide, Sean. So what is strategic communication? In your own way, what does strategic communication mean? When you hear the term strategic communication, what does it mean to you? I know that it means different things to different people, but I would like to hear from the audience what strategic communication means to them, so that we know where we're starting the learning from. Let's go. You can use the chat. I'm not sure I can see it, but please, show, if, since you're moderating, help
Yeah.
me put time to
All right.
this. Maybe you want 1 minute or you want 2 minutes. Please layer it on in that order.
All right.
Yeah.
So, please feel free to use the chat box. You can always use the raise hand option, and then we will call on you.
Anybody home? Or you came that I was going to teach you what strategic communication is? Okay,
So, I don't know if you can see the one from the chat box from Abel Oluwamuyiwa, sorry. It means communicating the best message through the correct channels.
correct. And what would channel mean to you, Abel? What does channel mean in this context? So before I begin to sound like, thank you, right people, I suppose, yeah, that's a good start. Can I have an idea of the students that we have? Do we have more students, young professionals or middle professionals, to tailor it in that way? John, can you help do that, please?
Okay, so on the call, we have fewer students for today, more of young professionals.
Oh yeah, now. Thank you. Okay, so I'm not teaching you. We are having a conversation. It's a workshop. So
Yeah.
Abel has answered very rightly, and I like when he says, "I suppose." I suppose when people use "I suppose," it means that they are not sure. They are just trying to, stay clear. So, strategic communication in this space actually means 4 things, and I like to categorize it around 5
Sorry,
topics.
can I
Number one,
just pause you? Because
yes, please.
Tobechiku's hand is up, so maybe I could just ask her to unmute and then quickly speak before you continue. Sorry
Gotcha.
to break that.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
All right, Tobechiku, you can unmute and then let's go.
All right, thank you so much, Sean. Good morning, Ma. So, effective communication. Communication is a two-way thing. So effective communication has to be when someone is speaking and the other person is getting the message, or when somebody is writing and the person reading gets the message. So it's not effective until the message is gotten. Right. So that's what I think effective communication is, because when it's just a one-way thing, somebody is just doing their thing. But if it goes two-way, then it's effective. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tobechukwu. So the message is not effective until the person that you're transferring that message to understands it clearly. Right. So indeed, the context that we speak, networking, communicating, is that you develop a clear and a compelling statement. Clear and compelling. Those are the 2 words. So if your message is not clear, you cannot oftentimes influence what the person is saying until you ask, do you understand? Yeah. So from your end, how do you ascertain that you are making an effective conversation? Is by being clear that your message is clear and compelling. Compelling means making the other person to take an action. The next level to a compelling conversation or communication is that you then ask, do you understand? Or what do you think? So those are the elements that makes it effective from the participant's hand. So I like to think about it in 5 ways. The first one is your message development. How do you develop a clear and compelling message? The second one is your audience analysis. At what point does the path or the type of audience that you have play a role? The third is, how do you position your message? The fourth is what Abel said. What's your channel? What tactics are you using? And the fifth is listening and asking for feedback. I'm going to repeat that. In delivering a clear and compelling message and being sure that you as a person know that, oh, I have delivered a clear message. My message is effective without asking your participants first. You must do the following. 4, your message must be developed rightly. Your audience, you must know ahead. Your positioning must be clear. Your channels, your tactics must also be clear. The 5th level is what actually makes it complete. When you ask for feedback, when you say, I've spoken all this grammar, what do you think? What do you understand? Can I take questions? So clear, compelling is what makes our communication strategic. If it does not have all the elements of branding, positioning, audience analysis, it's a conversation you're having, and it's also fine. And you must know when to move from trying to be strategically communicating to having a conversation. Because relationship in networking, they actually evolve. We may start with having formal conversations where we do audience analysis. How am I going to talk to TA? What do I want to say to her? Or how am I going to deliver my message? In what mode is she in? What am I talking to her about? When we evolve in that networking space, you must know when to stop being formal. But we'll get into the networking zone. So let's just go as let's run along. So that's what strategic communication is. And what makes it effective is when you are able to ask, your feedback is clear, the person understands. Thank you, Tobechukwu and Abel. Let's go to the next slide, please, Sean. So if you peradventure came to say when we finish, you say, can I get the slide? This is not the slide. There's nothing on the slide. We're having a conversation. So please, like I say again, I'm re-emphasizing this because that's not the style we learned how to be learned. You know, it's always, there's a lot of words on the slide, the person is speaking, and then we ask, can I have the slide? And oops, yes, I want the slide, and I think I can read it. That's not what you'll find here. So when you go into a networking situation, the first thing you ask yourself, show on the first slide, the previous slide, the first thing you ask yourself is, how do I develop my clear and compelling message, which we talked about? Yeah. The second thing or the second point is, how do I find what is unique to me? What will make you remember that I spoke to Tunbosun? This is how Tunbosun speaks. Or when I'm coming to this class, I know the things that Tunbosun can say. How do I infuse my need, my personality into this networking goal so that I don't become very mechanical? People say, oh, yeah, she's just going to be asking you, please, I need a job. And I'm saying that for context. I'm not shading, please. But it's just going to be asking you for opportunities. How do you infuse that? People know that you're networking, but there's a sense of, oh, there's still your personal brand that is coming out through this. Let's go to the next slide. So defining your goal is that, the second level of, now I know how to communicate. But what's the whole idea of networking? I'm not talking job search here. A lot of people think job search is networking, or it's until they need a job that they must network. I'm talking general networking for opportunities, networking for changing jobs, networking for even getting more knowledge, networking for, changing the face of your career growth, networking that people remember you and say, oh, I have this opportunity. I'm definitely going to be calling Tobechukwu, or I'm definitely going to be calling Sheon, without you asking. Networking that puts you right in the place and heart of mind. 2 things takes us by surprise in networking, especially if we are not prepared. The first thing is our internal self-belief. Our internal self-belief is what we also bring to the table. I'm coming here. I want to network in this place. What's my attitude to networking? What's my attitude? How am I behaving? What's the energy I'm giving off? What do people think about the state of my face, for example, my demeanor, the attitude that you bring up is what people see first before you even open your mouth. And you cannot fix attitude by reading books. You can only fix attitude by being very intentional. There's no amount of self-improvement book you can read. If you are not doing the work of, my attitude has got to change, I want to be perceived differently, it wouldn't come out. The second level is your constituency. Constituency can mean a lot of different things. In what area or among which audience do you feel more comfortable? If you feel more comfortable around friends, is a good place to start. But you must evolve away from this minuscule constituency mindsets. Start feeling comfortable with being in places you will ordinarily not be. And the third thing is trusting the process, is not rushing the process, is not saying, oh, I came to this, for common ground's sake, I came to this Nape conference and I didn't get a job, then I've not networked, or it's just a waste of my time, or I went to this fair and I didn't even speak to one person, it's just a waste of my time. Trusting the process, that you are evolving, that you are sending the right message, and with time, you will get there. In my head, I was going to say you get to the promised land, but you'll get there. You can be the promised land as well. The second perspective to that is also how you deal with your internal growth mindsets. A lot of people want to, there are many Gen Zs and millennials here. I'm a millennial, so I can say it. A lot of people want to win where they have not done the work. People just want to, today I'll just be YP lead and, the whole world will just know me. There's always this magical approach to how we live life now. The expectation is different. But what we don't see and what a lot of people don't tell us is that there's a lot of front-loading work. There is a lot of front-loading work that makes it look like you have the right network and the right opportunities are coming to you. The second thing is, when you are even moving away from one constituency to another, where do you stay? Are you involved? And that's the second thing of being on the court. Don't be in the stand. So imagine a tennis tournament going on, and you are a tennis player, and you have your opponents, and you are staying in the stand. Or at the end of a football game, you even came as a spectator. At the end of a football game, you stood back in the stand where every other person is getting into that court of, are you in the center of things happening? Do you even know that things are happening around you? Are you aware of the trend in your sector? The third thing is, momentum creates momentum. We are all science students, so you must have heard the term inertia. If you don't move, nothing is going to move for you. In fact, we are living in a more selfish world than before. If you think that someone is coming to save you, I recently shared this. If you think that a savior is coming, sorry, newsflash, there's no savior. Only Jesus is the savior. Momentum creates momentum. Once you start and say, my end goal is to, be able to comfortable seek the right opportunities for myself, and you start with a little effort, that little effort will grow. The fourth one is being obsessed about helping others. We are in a take world. Everybody wants to take, and it's tiring. There are few givers of the right knowledge, few givers of the right opportunities. There's a mindset of hoarding, that when people even have opportunities, they are afraid to share. So my closing statement on this slide is, are you yourself creating opportunities for people? Because it is not until you take only that makes you an effective networker. Informations come to everyone. Are you sharing? Do you push opportunities to people when it doesn't belong to you? Let's go to the next slide, Sean. So, our first activity. So we've learned, not this one, the workshop on the unique selling points. Yeah. So we've learned strategic communication. We've talked about how you change your mindset and your internal self-belief. Now let's talk about how you craft what makes you you. Because I recognize that a lot of people actually struggle with, how do I come with my own personal value statement? What is it that I can say, oh, these are the opportunities I'm chasing at this time. How can I carefully craft it? So what we are going to do here is that you're going to go reflective mode. What role are you currently occupying? And I don't know, it can be in school, it can be at work, it can be maybe through something that you're doing in your church. It can just be anything. Yeah. List these roles. Maybe you are the head of the technical evaluation team in your organization. Maybe you are a geophysicist. Maybe you're an associate geologist. Maybe you are a writer. Maybe you are a podcaster. Maybe you are a public figure. Everybody's a public figure these days. Maybe you are a public figure. Whatever your role is, now ask yourself, what accomplishments have I made in these roles that I sit? And it can be multidimensional. So it does not have to be one role. So your role even as a father, your role even anywhere that you're seeking the opportunity is what you put down and define your role. What has, what makes your skill the right one for this role that you're occupying? So I'm a geoscientist. I can build maps. I understand 3D seismic interpretation. Those are your accomplishments. I have done so and so. What skills did you use that you enjoy? You list that on the third column. The skills that I used, the task that I enjoyed most. And then what's the outcome of this? In this role, I've made these accomplishments while enjoying this task. And the outcome is that what my organization delivered XYZ, my team delivered XYZ. When you do this mapping exercise, you begin to see in terms of your accomplishments and the task and the skills that you bring to the table, things that make you unique. And what you enjoy can actually be connecting with people. It's also okay. It's fine for you to enjoy the team dynamics over enjoying the delivery of your organization. It's fine, because the context on which we are doing this exercise is for you to know your personal value statements that you bring into having the right conversation, positioning yourself for the opportunities. So I'm going to give 4 minutes, Sean, if you don't mind. I think 4 minutes is fine. And if one
Yes.
person, thank you. And if one person can then share with us in that role, and let's refine it together so that you see where all of this builds up to. So, ladies, gentlemen, workshop for you. And if you're ready before the 4 minutes, please, we can take you, right?
Yeah. So just feel free.
How many are we on the call?
Let me try and get that. So we are 27 at the moment.
27.
27, nice. It means everybody must at least speak 2 hours. If you are not, as a minimum, let's hear your voice. Because you can be sleeping with this time, or these 2 hours. You can be doing something else. But that you are here, I always, try to implore people, if you're going to be here, be here. So everybody, Sean, please be noting. People that have spoken, we will tick their name. Ones that have not spoken, we'll call them next.
All right, so there's
Okay,
a
let's
hand
go.
up. I think Amara Udebunu.
Let's go.
So feel free on mute and then we're ready.
Okay. Thank you, TA. Thank you, Cheryl. For the role, what I wrote for my own self is the first role I think I do. Not I think, I know I do. I'm a wife. It might sound very funny, but I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I'm a geoscientist, and I'm a volunteer. I love to volunteer. And also for the accomplishments, for the role of a mother, for the role of a wife, I know I'm a loving wife. That's one of my accomplishments.
Father's
And
Day is tomorrow, by the
yes,
way.
I do. Yes.
Thank you for the reminder.
And then for the role of a mother, I have two beautiful daughters that I love. The role of a geoscientist, I love to interpret seismic. I love to be able to delineate where the hydrocarbon accumulation can be in the subsurface. I love that. And also for the role of a volunteer, I love giving back. With the little time I have, I love to give back. For my skills, I know I like to interact. For people that know me, they know I don't really like to write. I think I prefer to speak. That is one of the skills I have. I love to talk to people. For the outcome now, I think I get results when I speak up. So that is my own. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much, Amara. Very brilliantly. And I can tell why Amara knew what to do. Amara, don't speak again in this. Anyway, so you see that simple exercise that Amara has taken us through. And the reason why Amara could feel comfortable about talking that she's a wife is because Amara have been on a job in another room. Because you must begin to feel comfortable in all the spheres of your life. I know that we always try to think that professional is the almighty of our life, but it's just actually a certain percentage or the percentage that you apply to it. There's still so much more to life, right? But it's good that we are progressive, thriving, and fulfilling. So if you remember back what I said, at the end of this call, everybody must live a fulfilling life. And you must think about creating opportunities for yourself in all of this sphere. The skills that she enjoyed came out to her because whether she's a geoscientist, whether she's a mom, whether she's a volunteer, she enjoys the interaction. And the outcome is that she helps to build community, even though she didn't say it in that way. So in her house, she's building a community. In delivering volumetric evaluation, for example, she's building a community. She's helping, in this case, DigiConnect, to meet their objective in conversing and being able to ask questions. So if Amara really sits down to ask herself, what's my personal value statement? It's community building. So you must string this together to identify who you are, so that when you come into a networking situation, you're not trying to force who you are not on your audience. Is this clear, or does anybody need any more explanation on this?
So this sounds clear to me, but I don't know if anyone, please, you can always drop your
We can
message in
take
the
it by
chat box, so
exception.
feel free.
It's not clear. It's not
Okay,
clear. Let
I would
us
say
know.
maybe you should just reiterate again.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to take Amara's example. Tamara mentioned different facets of her life. And I really like that, because when you seek opportunities, you seek it across different facets. You don't seek it across one thing. In one situation, you may be seeking opportunities at work. In another situation, you may be seeking opportunities. What are the other things that you guys do? So that I don't use personal examples. Maybe Can you help me?
It could be career work. It could be at
It could even be
conferences, schools,
good conferences. Good,
academic
right?
institution. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you. Academic should have come to my mind. So work, career. Is the noise on my background very bad? Or can you not hear
Not
it?
too bad. We can, but I think your voice is louder than it, so we could follow.
It's lighter than me. Okay, so pardon me. I teach a PG. I teach a PG class, and today is that day. So Emma Bino. That's my Yoruba plans. Anyway, so let's go back to where we are. The role, the accomplishments, the skill, and the outcome is around you finding your personal value statements. And once we do all of these activities, you'll see how they connect. So Amara, give us an example of how the various facets of our roles in life, our accomplishments, the skills that she enjoy, and the outcome of it. And I helped her to kind of summarize it to say, in all that Amara said, she said she enjoys the interaction. She enjoys, seeing things when people converse together. That's a typical attribute of a community builder. So the value you bring to the table when you are pitching yourself from opportunity is that you are able to say, I'm a community builder. I can help you build this community, because if you remember what I said earlier, networking is not only take, it's also what you can give. So you are going to the table with, I can give this because I've done this exercise. I know the skills that I enjoy. I know what comes natural to me. This is what I'm going to present to the table. And I'm going to also ask for opportunity. So the first thing and the first place to always start with yourself and identifying what your personal value is, what your unique selling proposition or point is. What makes you you? What makes me Tunbosun? What makes me Tunbosun will probably be a lot of things. But if I want to narrow it down, say I'm very conversational. Yeah. So like Amara, I'm also a community builder. But again, is now how do two community builders, how do they still come to the same table with the same opportunities and they leave feeling like, oh, I remember Tunbosun and I remember Amara? It is the various other facets of our skills and tasks that we enjoy that differentiates us. So maybe when we finish this, go over again on this activity and ask yourself, who am I? What's my personal value when I have to contribute to an opportunity? Yeah. And I'm saying opportunity that you see first, not the ones that you get. I know that this is about what we get, but we'll get there. You must, first of all, ask, what opportunities do I bring to the table? The second slide is also an activity. If you go there, Sean. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this one, but it's for you to use. You need to move to the previous one. Yeah. The previous slide. Yeah. So this, you may have seen this before. It's for you to go explore. A lot of people talk about elevators pitch. We are all young professionals. You have heard it before. You know what it is. It is, and for those who do not know, I will just iterate very briefly. An elevator pitch is the way they put the scenario is that you are in a lift with Bill Gates, or you are in a lift in Nigerian context with Aliko Dangote. You have a project on your mind that you think you will be interested in, or you want him to be interested in, and only you and him or her are stuck in that lift. It's like an opportunity of a lifetime. What do you say? What do you say to the young man? Are you just going to be fidgeting there? So your elevator pitch is like a 30 seconds or 3 minutes, depending on how high the building is. Conversation that you can deliver, that the person who has the opportunity will say, I want to talk to you again. So how do you craft your elevator pitch? It starts in 3 ways. Number 1 is, who are you? Who are you? Number 2 is, what do you need? Or what problems are you about to solve? Who are you? You must be able to establish, my name is Tunbosun Afolayan. I'm a sustainability expert, and I have expertise across geoscience, the energy industry, and the communication sector. That's who I am in the context of seeking for work opportunities. The second thing is, what do I need? Maybe at that time I need, let me create a need for myself. Maybe at that time I want to start an E&P company. Yeah? And Dangote is now the owner of a refinery. How am I going to articulate that need for him? That he wants to do business with me. Remember that this man every day is being hit by 1,001 requests. So the elevator pitch must also differentiate you, because everybody has elevator pitch. It's not unique to you. But how do you deliver yours that he knows what you need? So I've established who I am. The personal value statement helps us to identify who we truly are across our various spectrum. What do you need? Oh, I am currently running, or I'm currently leading the most indigenous E&P company in Nigeria. Is going to pique his interest, like really, how? Than just saying, oh, I'm just a geoscientist with one company. With, I don't want to call names, or I'm just a digital product manager with one organization. The pitch is, what are you contributing? What do you need from him? First, your introduction, what you need from him, and what you can contribute. What problem are you using it to solve? Tunbosun Afolayan with expertise in blah, 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 blah. I'm currently leading maybe an energy communications company, and we are interested in helping the energy industry to get out their message in clear and concise terms, because public perception of the energy industry is typically negative. How do you need his help? Is now, we would like you to join our board of advisors or board of trustees, so that we can also help Dangote Refinery as it's of taking in telling the right stories. I'm the one that needs help, but I've also presented the solution that he may need to him. Now, depending on where you hear this teaching, most times they tell you to land it from a perspective of need, but I'm turning that on the head. Your elevator pitch must always involve your perspective of solution. Yes, you need him. Yes, you need that person. But what's the value that person is also going to get from you? So my apologies if I'm not teaching this from the perspective of a basic, fundamental 100 level class, because that's not the group that we are talking to. Is now, how would you craft your own elevator pitch that in the midst of asking for help, in the midst of asking for help, you also prefer help? Can anyone do that for us quickly? Don't worry about how long it is. We can refine the longness. But the important thing is, you are clear on who you are, you are clear on what you want, you are clear on the value, what you want or what you need from that person, the value that they would also derive. We can take 3 minutes for that.
All right, anyone can feel free to speak. It doesn't have to be perfect, you know. So,
Perfection does not exist, though. Anyone wants to go? Okay. But do you understand? Let's start with, do you even understand before asking, do people want to go? Do you understand?
So you can also respond in the chat if it's difficult to
Is it
speak.
clear? We're not understanding. See, you have come with your problem again. You're always speaking in the sky. Can you come down?
So there's a lot of yes in the chat box.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I carry the burden of speaking. Everybody in my community tells me I speak like people should understand what I'm saying. So please, if you don't understand, please let me know. I can break it down better than this, but again, I'm also audience conscious. I don't want to be teaching you things that you can learn or read in a book. All right. Good. Okay. So I'm going to leave you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, guys. So I'm happy that you understand, but you don't want to share your elevator pitch. So that's fine. Now let's talk about the diagram that you see. It will also help you in your elevator pitch as you prepare it, because it might actually be difficult and it would never be complete or perfect, because as you grow, your need also changes. The way to identify it is something called the ikigai. The ikigai is assumed to be, I don't know whether this is true, but the facts around it is that it's developed as a Japanese system of belief where you can find what makes you you. You can find the purpose of yourself right in the middle. And it is across these quadrants. The first thing is your passion, that thing that you love, that you just love. Your mission is what the world needs. Your vocation, that which you can be paid for. And your profession is what you are good at. I have seen people pass through life with focusing only on their profession. But there is always 4 dimensions to us as human. You must understand what you're good at. You all went to school. Most of us went to school to read geoscience. You'd probably be good at geoscience because you've learned it. And it's even better when you are working and you're learning this, when you're using the skill. You become good at it. That's your profession. Your passion is what you love, what you naturally enjoy. Some people love music. They are geoscientists, but they love music. Their passion cannot pay them money, but they love it. Their vocation is what they can be paid for. Maybe outside of their profession and their passion, they are also great writers. Maybe they know how to do website design, or maybe they know how to, interrogate a product and find the right design for it. Maybe they even they know how to read. Maybe they are speakers. People always say speaker is a profession. Speaking is not a profession, please. Is a vocation that a lot of people enjoy. Yeah. Except when you now say you are a public speaker. That's different. And then your mission is, in the midst of all of this, what is it that the world needs? What problem are you solving? Right in the middle of that is what your purpose is. And that's how, or one of the ways you can identify your purpose. Right. Let's run to the next slide. I wanted to do this identifying your purpose, understanding communication for the first bit, for the first 1 hour. And then we talk now more around networking and how to properly network. If you don't understand your purpose, you don't even know the opportunities that you need. Some people think they need a job when they may actually need to be out of a job. This is with all due respect to you, right? My intention is not to make small of what you need right now, is to make you open up your mind to the true meaning of the right opportunities. The right opportunities can be a job, it can be an internship, it can be a conversation, it can be an information that somebody will pass. Well, how do you open up your mind for that? Once you identify your personal value statements, it drives you into the right outcome. Once you know how to have the right conversation, challenging your self-belief, challenging your mindsets, it helps you to have the right conversation. When you know how to develop and deliver a clear and compelling message, then networking is easy. I do not want to come here and tell you about introvert and extrovert, how you speak at a networking, because I don't need to teach you that. Right. Now let's go to practical strategies when you come to a network. There is a difference between networking and building a network. There's a difference. So maybe I should skip this. So let's go to the next slide. The next one, networking strategies. Yeah. I'm going to come back to that slide because it's a way to deliver your message. But I think it will be good after we have talked about these networking strategies. So typically, networking is done either one-to-one or in a group. That's what you would have mostly observed. One-to-one is when you have my total attention, it's just you and you have to deliver a speech. Group networking is the most common. This is either when you're making a speech, you're making a presentation, you're in a group of people, you're listening to someone. There's just so many people, so more audience than just you in there. But what is a network and what is networking? The difference between a network and networking is that network is already your community. Oh, you have a network. Networking is the art of meeting people and growing your network. You must be able to know the state of your network at every time and say, I'm going to put more practical step into networking. I'm also going to be talking about common networking mistakes that we all make. Everyone makes it. We'll talk about types of networking. We'll talk about the slang phrase. I'm going to explain what that means. And then we're going to do an activity that helps you to map your current network so that when you go into a conference, you know who you want to see next. You know the person you want to come to. A lot of people come to Nape, at least Nape is a common ground with all of us. They come with CV, which is perfectly okay. But they now deliver that CV to the wrong people. So we're going to be discussing all of that. When you have the right intention, how do you get it to the right people? Show next slide. So these are the most common networking mistakes that people make. Everybody feels networking is about helping, taking, people giving them something. Oh, I want to network with Mr. Abiodun Adesanya so that he can give me a job at DigiConnect. I want to network with Austin Avoro. It's a common belief that when we say, oh, just come network, everybody comes there with, I want to take. Networking is beyond taking. Networking is about giving. When you give, people will have reason to give you back. So networking fundamentally is not about you getting help. It's also about you providing solutions to other people's problems. Yeah? Keep giving, keep asking. And then the next question is, but I don't have anything to give. Why? How? How do you know? That's why we did the first exercise. Who are you? What's your personal value? Once you can articulate your personal value, it's easy to give. Oh, I can help you with this. I know how to write. I enjoy writing. I can help you. It's easy to then have the right conversation that draws the attention on you. Networking is not about people helping us. Network is about us helping people and people reciprocating that. A lot of people they leave networking until they need it. Oh, when I get to 400 level, that's when I'll start network. Now, I'm just here to collect souvenir. I'm sorry, that sounds like a serious shading. That's not the intention. Yeah, but you need network every time. You need to know the right people. It's not until you think you need it. In fact, most people build a network without knowing when they will need it. It's very uncomfortable that you just meet me and you ask me for something out of the blues. You won't feel comfortable. I won't feel comfortable. But imagine if we have been on this journey for a long time. So it's not until you need something that you network. The third one is that some people are too busy to network. They actually feel they are not in that frame of mind to network. Oh, I'm too busy at this time. Networking is not my thing. I'm too shy. No, I'm an introvert. That's the one big excuse. I'm an introvert. I can't talk for my life. You cannot be too busy to network because the world is built around opportunities from people who you will come to meet. And for those of us in the industry, you are beginning to probably see the effect of that from the information you hear, from the friends that you have, from trends that you just get to know. A lot of people don't know yet, but you just kind of know from, let me even say, the kind of people that you have on your phone. The fourth mistake is that people think self-promotion is bad. And I am too humble. It's okay to be humble. Jesus wants all of us to be humble. But Jesus also says that we should not be stupid. If you have not read your Bible to that point, it's actually there. Many times Jesus said, "Oh, ye fools, would you put a lamp under the table?" Yeah? Self-promotion is not bad. And this is for people who see a lot of digital footprint and they're like, oh, this person is self-promoting too much, or this person is just right in my face. Is their page, is their write-up, is their data. The best you can do is to either do your own or allow them breathe. Self-promotion is not bad if it is done in the right way. The way you do it the right way is when you have done the exercise of understanding your personal value. The personal value will help you understand what you would not do, how you would not write a statement. Self-promotion is key to your personal development. Self-promotion is key to how people know if you are the right person for the opportunity that they need. The fifth one is non-personalized networking. You just go to a place and you're collecting card. You're not talking to the person. You're just, writing down what they have on their slide. They say, oh, please, can I have your number? What do you need their number for? Non-personalized networking. How do you put yourself in the heart and mind of that person? How do you live being top of mind of that one person that you want to talk to? Non-personalized networking is also very common in big events where people want to talk to 100 people. They came there to deliver to 100 people. That's not the right act of networking. Networking can be one, you are in a big conference and you tell yourself, I'm just going to talk to 3 persons here or 5 persons, and I know the people I'm going to talk to. Another common mistake with networking is people connect and disappear. Hey, hello, ma'am. I'd like to speak to you. I have this problem, blah, 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 blah. And I'm looking for who will help me. And then they disappear out of the person's life. Maybe they now have work to do. And all of a sudden they realize that, life is still happening to them. So they come back and say, oh, hey, madam, please, can you remember me? You don't network and disappear. You keep fanning the flame of networking. Remember the phrase that I've been using here. Top of mind. Top of mind. And then the seventh one, which is most common, is that people don't have networking strategy. A lot of people just go into a place, I just want to meet people. Why? Are you lacking people? Why do you just want to meet people? There's no room for just wanting to meet people. It's wanting to meet the right people. So think about these 7 things, and ask yourself, which of it do I need to improve on? And please improve on it. Next slide, Sean. So there's a popular adage, you may have heard it, that I think this number 634 can actually be very controversial. But there's this adage that says you are 4 persons away from the right people in your life if you don't have them already, or you are 4 persons away from the President of the United States. You are 4 persons away from the most important person in the world. Some people will tell you it's 6. I think it's 6. But for the professional landscape, you are actually 3 persons away. It's called the separation rule. So if I know that, and if you think about LinkedIn, for example, where there are first connection, second connection, third connection, there are no fourth connection because they no need. There's no need. Fourth connection is too far. There are 3 degrees of separation between someone who can help you in your professional space and yourself. So how do you find these people? The second thing I want to talk to you about in the act of networking is also the front page test. I'm going to allow this noise to reduce. Now their voice is louder than my own. So in the front page test, what you're going to do, the exercise you're taking away from this one is you're going to go on Google and type your name there. You're going to go and type Oluwaseun Ogundipe or Seun Ogundipe. Go and type it on Google. Let Google dig you out. Because when you network with people, people would investigate you. Me, personally, if people send me friends requests on LinkedIn, as an example, before I approve, I first of all click on them and I just see, who is this person? So, there's a lot of noise at my background now. My apologies. But do this front page test for yourself. Find your digital footprint. So the front page test is different from you finding your digital footprint. The front page test implies that if all your digital footprint is placed in front of a newspaper, how would you feel? So yesterday, the right opportunity you are looking for now is that you want to become the strategic advisor to Tony Elumelu. I'm using words, I'm just using names here. And you go and apply for that role. And they click on your name. Or you meet Tony Elumelu somewhere and you introduce yourself to him. You give him the compelling message, the right message. And he checks you out. Would your presence or all the stories around you, would it pass a front page test? And people miss a lot of this because over the years, we have opened Facebook, we have opened Twitter, we have said all manner of things, we have commented where we shouldn't. Ensure your digital footprint is as authentic as possible. And please, I don't mean it must be good. You see, I didn't use the word good because if you are a naturally bad person, you must be okay being bad. You must accept that you're a bad person. So I'm put it out there. Yeah. So your digital footprint must truly show who you are, and you must feel comfortable with it. So that's another exercise to do ahead of us getting into the networking space. So where are the various areas where we can find our network? That's what the image on the side is doing. University alumni connections, online network, your personal family, friends, sporting interests that you may have, professional association, recruiters naturally because we are in that space of work, your current work colleague, the impression they have of you, the impression you have of them, and events that you attend. What do you leave people? What kind of impression do you leave with people that when they have the right opportunities, they will think about you? These things are not science. They are just arts. They are really, how do we portray ourselves in public? When you go to an event, what message do you pass about your person? Because building a network is not until you actually open your mouth to speak. Remember, I talked about attitude. Right. So next slide. So this is the fundamental of, oh dear, today is the day. So this is the fundamental of mapping your network. And this is a very interesting exercise. Because to grow your network, you must first of all know the kind of network that you have. This is easy. The first thing you're going to do is think about the one thing that you're looking for now, one thing that you want to do. One thing. Please make it one thing, because if you do two, it may be complex. So maybe I'm looking for a job, or maybe I'm looking for a PhD opportunity, or I'm looking for a scholarship to do my master's, or those kind of specific thing, or I want to change a job, or I want to get a promotion, in that specific way. Now, that's one thing you want to achieve with the right network. Write out a list of 10 to 15 people that you have spoken to within the last 6 months about it. Can you get 10 to 15 people? When you finish that, okay, let me now go to the next one. So let's do that, Shion, as an exercise, because that opens up the conversation into what then is effective networking. So please write down 10. If 15 is a stretch, it's fine. Write down 10 people that you have spoken to about the opportunity you want to attract in the past 6 months. 6 months is a long time. So think of January, somebody you have spoken to. Within these 6 months, who have you spoken to about this opportunity? Because you have been thinking about it. I want to get a job. Hey, this Nigeria is still tough. My salary is no longer enough. I want to get a scholarship. Who have you spoken to in the past 6 months? 6 months about it. This one, someone must speak. If not, I'm going to shut down the class. If nobody speaks. Shewa, am I permitted to do that?
We would want to finish the class with you.
Okay. All right. So guys, let's make this interactive. Let's make this interesting for ourselves so that the learning is complete. 10 persons that you have spoken to about an opportunity you are looking out for. If you have, please just share. Just say, I'm done. And be truthful to yourself. Yeah. Right, Odeshola, please go. I think it's Odeshola. Yeah, Odeshola, go ahead, please. You're done? Or you have a question? Which one?
Okay. Hello, good afternoon. Can you hear me now? Hello, ma'am.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you. It's very noisy.
Okay. My name is Odeshola Tola. I'm a geologist. I'm a graduate from Federal University of Technology. So concerning the question that you asked, as reference, example. So I'm a recent graduate. What I would like to happen probably have a place where I can further develop my skill. So my next plan in life is to go for NYC or something like that. And at the same time, for a place to work, to perform my duty as a copper, and at the same time develop myself professionally. Number of people I've spoken with, just to.
Okay, great. Okay. So thank you, Odeshola. No, keep that number. Keep that number too. I just want the number. So you'll see that a lot of us cannot identify 10 to 15. Or anybody can identify 10 persons that you have spoken to about. Please speak.
Tobichukwu,
Sean,
just
help
unmute
moderate
and
it.
then feel free.
Yeah.
Tobichukwu, you can unmute. Okay, so Abby, if Tobichukwu isn't coming, Abby, you can unmute and speak.
Is he our RBS?
Yes, so.
No.
Hi, RBS.
Good morning, ma. Thank you for this section. I think I've actually spoken to close to 10 people, to be frank. Yes, nice. I have.
Great. Okay, so beside this, list these 10 people. Please list them, guys. Let's do this exercise together. You will shape your mind differently. List these 10 people, please. Please.
Timothy, okay, do you want them to, would they read out the 10 people or just for their personal use?
It's for their personal use.
Okay, all right.
I've
Timothy,
listed
Stella, you
mine
can
already.
unmute.
You've listed yours. Great. Timothy, please unmute and tell us.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for the talk.
Yeah, no, I'm coming. I've been trying to. I think my network is bad.
Hello?
Sorry.
Hello?
Yeah. But
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, Timothy, we can. I think that was from
Oh,
Tobechuku. You were saying our network was bad. But Timothy, you can go ahead.
all right. Yeah, so I finished my PhD in the University of Potsdam in Germany, and currently I'm a research associate, but I'm looking to change jobs. And when you mentioned looking at the people I've spoken to, I kind of thought back, and in the last 6 months, I think, yeah, I was able to write down 10 people that I've been able to speak with concerning this.
Nice. Nice. Great. Okay.
Yeah.
I like
Abel,
that. So no, let's keep there are many questions. So beside these 10 people
yeah.
that you have written down, please assign to them whether they are family, their friends, their operational connections. Operational connections are people that you talk to every day of your life. They are your friends, they're your research friends, you're in the same master's school together, they're in the same postgraduate school, they're in your office. Those are your operational friends. You cannot do without talking to them. So friends, family, operational friends, and then your strategic connections. Your strategic connections in Timothy's case can be a lecturer, or maybe someone who is looking for a postdoctoral student, if that's the next thing on his mind, or maybe a recruiter who he has sent his CV to. So map these 10 people or 15 people or 2 persons and write in front of them where they belong. Family, friends, operational connections, or strategic connections.
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Kyle. I don't know whether I'm permitted to speak.
Okay. Now that you've started, I know the exercise is going on, but Taiwo, can you just quickly go on with what you want to mention?
Okay. So my name is Kyle Oliemi. So I'm currently a postgraduate student here in University of Lagos. And for the past few months ago, I've been looking forward to advance my knowledge in terms of industrial, practical, and some other things related to my field. So for the past 6 months ago, I was able to speak up to 10 people related to that and to get connected and also to help me out with my request.
Nice.
So
Thank you for sharing that. Can you now assign these 10 people to whether they are friends,
okay,
family, operational connections, or strategic connections? You see where we are going with this exercise. Just assign, because it's okay. We have friends that can help us. You know that.
okay,
Yeah. So just assign these 10 people. Assign where they fall. Are they strategic connections? Are they people that can change the situation or that can provide the opportunities that you need? Or they are people that are operational and they have the information that you need. It can be maybe people in your class. They always give you information around, oh, there's an opening here and so on. Yeah, or are you talking to a recruiter? Do you have a recruiter friend that you're always hitting and saying, what's the trend? What's happening? Those are your operational connections. So your operational connections are those people who can actually move magic for you. Yeah.
And so I think there's a quick question for you,
Yeah.
Mom.
Please.
So it's from Deborah. Please, can the strategic strategic connections category be explained again?
Okay. So strategic connections are people who you may not actually know. You may not even have any relationship with them, but they have what it takes to deliver what you need at this time. They have what it takes. Strategic, clear, compelling, with a reason. There's a purpose for it. You are reaching out to me, TA, because you want me to come and speak here. Yeah? Nais is looking for speaker. They may not have ever spoken to Mrs. Audrey. That's an example of a strategic connection. Sheon wants to start working. Sheon, I'm going to shade you now. Sheon wants to move organization and wants to start working with Dr. Lai Fatono, but he's never spoken to Dr. Lai Fatono before. Then he comes to me and says, Tia, do you know Dr. Lai Fatono? I want to reach him. That's a strategic connection. Or you are at a conference and you go with, I want to work at Seplat. And I ask myself, who can get me into Seplat? It's not that, where is the HR at Seplat? No, who can get me into Seplat? So I see someone speaking with Austin Avuro and they're chatting and they're really having fun and enjoying themselves. I'm like, this person knows Austin like this. Oh yeah, now. Since I don't want to reach Austin first because the spirit and body in me will be saying, I'm using Austin. Austin is no longer in Seplat, but you get the gist. Since my spirit, soul, and body will not be able to contain me when I see him, I will first of all talk to Mr. Femi Eson, or I will talk to Emeka Ejika. I'm just throwing names of people that you may be familiar with. People who your end game is to get you the right opportunity. Strategy. The art of creating innovative ideas to solve a problem. Innovative. Operational are people who all your life, you must hear them. There are people in your office. PTDF form is out. Amara, have you heard? You that you want to go and do MSc. Yeah? Those are your operational connections. People who, whether you ask them or not, they will give you the information. They are operational. Or you walk into a group of your friends, your friends, and they are discussing. I say, what are you talking about? And they say, you did not hear that they just promoted this person. Those are operational connections. Strategic is, for example, you hear that they are promoting someone and you have the right network to go meet the HR in your office to say, I heard there's a promotion. I'm just curious as to why I was not promoted. That's a strategic connection. People who can change the game and can provide what you need. Is it clear? Is it clearer?
Yeah, Deborah, is it clearer?
Deborah, is it clearer?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you. All right.
So there's also another comment, another question
Yes,
from
please.
Julius. What about people looking for you instead? Because your established network believes you are fit for the opportunity.
They're your operational, they're your people looking for you instead. I don't understand in the context. They're your strategic connections, isn't it? Can you say that, Julius, in a way that we'll understand it? In what context? So people are looking for me. Sean,
So
do you
Julius,
understand
if
it?
you
Do you want to?
I think it's coming from the angle of rather than you sitting down to look out for people to get an opportunity, can it also not happen that because you've established yourself, people now start to look for you for that opportunity?
But that's where we want to be,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That's our end game of having this conversation.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's moving from taking to giving. It's moving from, I'm just sitting in my house and I see a mail and say to Boson, come and be a faculty advisor in our business school.
Yeah.
So that's where we want to be. So if you're already in that space, please just leave. Just click that red button and say, this class is useless to me. I'm not
No, they
interested.
have to drag people out with them so that they can get to that level with them. So I would not want them to leave empty-handed.
You want them to correct. No, but the point is that's where we want to evolve to,
Yeah.
where we are
Yeah.
positioned for the right opportunities, where you don't have to speak. That's why we did the personal value statements, where by yourself you just know, and the people around you just get it. if I say I'm a communications expert, it's not in doubt. It does not matter whether I've been doing geoscience for most part of my life. You get what I mean? People know there is substantiated facts that I am a communications expert. You get what I mean? So that's where we want to be. That without you asking for this opportunity, you just know the right people. If African Energy Chamber wants me to come and speak, they know who to connect with to get across to me. I'm using that as a far-flung idea. Yeah. But that's where we want to be. That you don't have to be the one seeking. Oh my goodness. That you don't have to be the one seeking for the opportunities, that instead the opportunities are seeking you. That's true networking. So have we done the family, friends, operational connections, strategic connections? Yeah. When you finish that, now let's go to the next level of identify the agenda. Are they female? Are they male? I don't want to get into the gender conversation here, but they have to be either male or female. They cannot be asexual. Equal. Male, female, he made them. So just put it beside these people's name, male or female. Then also, beside that, everybody's laughing. Beside that, now put where they work, their location, their company. Where do they work? Where do these people work? This exercise is for yourself because you're going to be growing your list of strategic connection. Their location: Lagos, Nigeria; Abuja, Nigeria; Illinois, USA; Shanghai, China; Amsterdam, Netherlands; Boston, Massachusetts in the US. You know, that kind of thing. Kingston, Jamaica. Put it like that. The company they work for. The company they work for is very important. If you want to go a bit higher level, put the sector. Don't use the company. Just say oil and gas, academics, FCMG, music industry, entertainment industry, banking. You know, put it on another column. When you finish that on another column, then you put how long you have known them. You can break it into 0 to 2 years, or 2 years and less, 2 to 5 years, and longer than 5 years. Yeah. So you do that for all the connections that you say you have spoken to for the past 6 months. We done? I know it's a bit rushed, but is anyone done?
So you can feel free to let us know if you're done, so that we know everyone is participating in the class as well, or in the workshop.
Thank you. It's not a class, so we didn't commit to it. Okay, so tell us, what do you see? Do you, in terms of your strategic connection, operational connection, what numbers do you have? Just share with us.
So you can
So
just
my
share your
strategic
numbers with
connection.
us. Okay.
Is that Amara? Can another person speak?
Yes.
No, not Amara. Another person, please. Let's carry everybody where they want to go. Bamara, thank you. You know I'm proud of that. Thanks.
Okay. So in terms of strategic connections,
Sorry, please, may we know your name?
only one. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, my
Hello.
name
Yeah.
is Kuliyemi Taiwo. Hope you
Okay,
hear.
Taiwo. All right, you can go on. We just wanted to the name to
In
that.
terms of strategic connections, just only one. In terms of strategic connections, just only one. In terms of operational connections, is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 7, up 7 operational connections. In terms of friends, Just only one.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And thank you for sharing that spread. Again, if I don't correct you on this one, it will not be too awesome. Anytime you want to say something, don't say just, please. Don't say just only one. Just say it's one. It's one. It's seven. It's this. Just is like I'm not. Like I'm not sure. Like there's no power in that statement when you use just. Please. Yeah. Please don't.
Okay, okay,
Only I mean you know that
okay.
I'm not. This is not
No,
shading you, right? Yeah,
no stress.
because these
Thank
are the
you.
kind of conversation you're also going to be having when you read the right network, and you cannot say just, I'm just here, I'm just looking for. No, I am looking for. There's a power in that. Awesome. You should have done that, but I hope you get the message anyway. So what we will begin to see,
Okay,
for those of us that mapped this exercise, you'll see that we don't typically have a lot of strategic connection. We have a lot of friends. We have a lot of operational connections, but they cannot take us to the promised land. They will be with us on the journey to the promised land, but they cannot take us there. And if you now go through the spread of your network in terms of where they live, where they work, their location, not where they live now, their location, you will find out that you know people only in Lagos. How would the opportunity in Abuja reach you? Or you know people only in the US because you live in the US and you say you're a global citizen. How will these opportunities reach you? If you now look at the company or the sector, you now realize that you know people only in the oil and gas industry and you are looking for academic opportunities. Are they in the oil and gas industry? So you begin to see the gap in your network by this exercise. When you now ask, how long have you known these people for? If you've known them for 5 years, when was the last time you checked in on them? If they are strategic connections, the aim of building a network, building a natural, powerful network, is being diverse, especially in the world of today where everyone is global, where they don't need you to be in Shanghai, but they can create an opportunity for you there. But if you are stuck with your head, with your friends and family and operational connects, maybe ABS is stuck to Sunday, ABS, I'm shading you. Maybe ABS is stuck to Sunday every day, you know. You get what I mean? If you are stuck in that space of talking to only the people you interact with, you cannot pray it away. I am not joking. You cannot pray it away. This is where the work also comes in, of lifting up your head and saying, how do I find the right network? My network is currently this small, or maybe dislocated, or maybe this non-diverse. So that's what this exercise exposes, because a lot of people just think, oh, I'm just going to go to the next Nape conference and know how to talk. That's not what I came here to do. Because you've been going to the next Nape conference and you've been talking forever. The question is, has it yielded any fruit? Is the opportunity you're looking for right now, is it sitting within the Nape conference? Do you need to attend an ICANN conference? Do you need to attend a tech conference? Are you looking at attending that? Or do you need to actually start speaking out at the oil and gas industry? You want to change a job, you want to become a geoscientist, and you look at your operational, you look at your network map, and there's no strategic connection there that can make it happen for you. It's going to take a longer time to happen because you're going to wake up and the world has moved. So now is a good time to reflect. Am I communicating my value? The people that needs to know what I do, know what I do. Or I'm just sitting in my house, hoping and believing that the right opportunities is going to come my way. I'm a geoscientist. My passion is techie, for example, or tech, or maybe UI UX. Am I talking to the right people? or I'm pitching to geoscientists who do not understand UI UX and hoping that they will get it and call me for their oil and gas business. When oil and gas company want to find UI UX people, nobody looks inward first. They look in the right direction. Think about your organization. They want a speaker to facilitate one of their engagements. Do they look at it? And I want us to be truthful. Do they really look inside first? Or they are looking for a data analyst and they don't know that you are a data analyst. They don't even know that you have a certification there. Would they say, oh, let me shade another person. Let me find another person to shade. Would they say, Sheon? Would they say, Sheon, I know you're a data analyst, so yeah, come and do this job. So compelling, clear, and blowing or tutuing your own on in the right way that connects to your personal value, and ensuring that you have a strategic network. Who knows? So this exercise, I hope it opens up your mind to what the true networking is, to what it means to build a true network. And it's not what you say at the conference, how you talk to the person. We are coming there, so give me. We're coming back there. So it's how people know the value that you give. Are you in the right space? Would the opportunities come to you? The topic says effective networking strategies. It's got to be for the right people. So please do this exercise and repent. If your next opportunity is that you want to be a PhD candidate, if that's the next thing on your mind, do you have the right association that will make that happen? Is a professor you are eyeing, or that you think you know, or that has similar interest to what you are doing? Is that person in your network? Or you're just throwing your application out there that, oh, Jesus, go and do your thing. Jesus, go and do your thing. Jesus also wants you to help him. Jesus brought us to this. Jesus, too awesome. Jesus brought us in this world so that we can make him proud. We are gods. I'm not going there. You see, I have to be talking to Jesus, so please not let us preach here. Yeah? But please do this exercise over and over again so that you are more strategic. To have what to say is one thing, but to say it to the right people is the most important thing. Are you in the right network? Are you targeting the right people for your next phase? Do people know what you can do? And are there facts to back this up? And this is where I want to go to next. Are there facts to attract? Next slide, Sean. Next slide. This is very conversational. This one. The right opportunities. How do they reach you? Are you talking about them? Do you have facts to back it up? Do you even know where you should be talking about them? LinkedIn has provided the opportunity for you to showcase your expertise. And I'm not discussing LinkedIn here, but it's a great tool to use. Do people even know that if I look at, I have to mention name here. Let me find a name to mention. A name I've not mentioned since. Do people know that if I look at Agbo Meire Akilo's page, I know what he or she is about? Do people know? If they call 10 of your friends together, Mayowa, and they say, what's Mayowa do that, apart from geology, because they're already reading geology in school, or what's Mayowa looking for? Can they say what you're looking for? How will the right opportunities come to you if the people in your network don't clearly know what you need? The right opportunities is a facade that you can only make a reality. Opportunities to contribute your knowledge. A lot of people think it is until they they are experts in the field before they can blog about it, write about it, teach it. That's not true. Expertise is different from sharing. What you will not do is call yourself an expert when you are not. But the right opportunities will come to you when people know that you are on that journey. And let me give a very practical example. This is a very extreme but practical example, but I want it to get you thinking. Have you seen those very strange posts on LinkedIn where somebody says, I just lost my job and I'm looking for opportunity because I have to find a job in two weeks? Have you seen those kind of posts before? Has anybody seen those kind of posts before on LinkedIn? Yes. Do they find jobs or not? On an average, do they find jobs or not? Go investigate. They do. Not at times. 99% of them find a job. Because what they have done is that they have expressed their need. They have come to the right place for them to pitch their opportunity to say, hey, this is the right place. I have this problem. The people know what you need. I know a lot of people. I know quite a number of people on this call. I mean, just thinking about it, I don't even know what their next steps are. And these are people that I know. I'm just saying. So think about your friends as well. Do they even know what do they know what you are looking for next? Do they know? In your office, do they know that you are looking for a promotion? Have you discussed with anyone? Have you sat down to speak to someone to say, I think I'm due for a promotion? So, in as much as these are uncomfortable, the steps to do it, reiterating now, is that the first thing you do is what? You understand your personal value, what you bring to the table, because you'll be asked. They will ask you, so you think you want to be promoted, what do you bring to the table? Then on your list of accomplishment, because you've written it down, the conversation is easier. I've done this and this and this and this and that. Oh, I'm looking for a job and I come to a conference and I want to talk to someone at the desk. I'm not going to go there and say, hi, good morning. My name is Mary. Uncle, you now be hearing different kind of people call it Madam, Ma, Mama, all those things. It is, my project is in whatever, groundwater resistivity, and, we've used it in our university to, drill borehole, or maybe not. But I'm looking for an opportunity to express this knowledge and to apply it to the oil and gas industry. Do you perchance have such space? What's the point of having conversation with people who don't have space to give you? You get what I mean? I'm trying to make this as practical and as lifelong as possible, not for your next conference. Oh, I'm finishing my research work in school, and the topic is this. Do you see an opportunity for it to be used in your organization? I'm happy to share. What you have said is you're happy to share. It's different from, hey, I'm going to be finishing university in 6 months, and I don't even know. I'm just afraid. Where will I find a job? Or, excuse me, sir. I mean, I've been to a lot of conferences and I've had conversations with people. So I'm talking based on facts. And I'm deliberately using Nape conference because that's where I see the most interesting behaviors for networking. So please, articulately present the value you bring while you are even seeking opportunities. Being clear. Oh, I'm looking for, right now, I think I'm due for a promotion. Is writing down my accomplishment, not going to my boss and saying, this year, I've just been working. Nobody is looking at my side. It's like there's nepotism in this place. Is that the end game of what you want to achieve? No. The first thing is your network map will let you know whether you even have your boss in your corner or whether you have 2 or 3 persons who can talk to your boss on your behalf. So let's not fool ourselves. The workplace works exactly like the outside. I would send opportunities to people I know first. and I know who needs it, and they've asked me they need it. Oh, Tia, if you find any opportunity in a research work or a grant, I'm happy to. I'm in that space where I'm looking for something along maybe hydrogeology now, and I find such opportunity. Am I just going to fling it out because I'm generous or I'm CA and I love YPs and young professional? I'm going to think of maybe Sheon would have the conversation with me and say, TA, please, this is what I need now. Or going to meet your boss to say, sir, my promotion is on my mind. I know that you may think it's too early, but what would you say you will look out for when you want to promote me? What does success mean to you? I want to be part of your success story. Those are the kind of conversations to have, but you would never be able to have those conversations from a tech perspective. If you don't know what your personal value is, it's going to be difficult every time. Oh, I'm looking for a scholarship and I want to join ISL. And I know Victor Ogomola. Have you ever discussed with Victor and say, oh, Victor, I know that you are the one in charge of ISL. I know that there's a clear process for it, but can you spare some 15 minutes to just talk to me about what you look for? You have not asked him for Expo. You have just asked him that I am more serious than the other. This is how to have strategic communication. And I deliberately went through this round of not teaching you theory, defining what a networking is, because nobody has that time. You all don't have that time, right? So, Sean, before we go, I'm on my final slide. Let's go back to the first slide I skipped. That slide around storytelling approach. That's where I'm going to land this. This one. Yeah, that one. So, this slide is really just to open up your mind. It's more in the methodology of how people speak. So if I ask you today, what style do you think I have used to teach this class? What would you say? What style would you say? Please put it on the chart. What would you say? Conversational, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Sean, can I say something? You see this?
Yes, please.
Because this is a community that I know. You see, this era of free speak is in the past. Guys, is in the past. Is ancient behavior. So please, we should not even be implored to speak. I'm begging. Don't wait to be implored to speak. I know that there's something not right with the way we have been taught, but we are all students of the world now. You are on LinkedIn, you see people. You are in companies, you see people. So they will now bring somebody who studied abroad, and from day one, the person is already being called the high flyer. Just because they will not ask, the person will say, "Excuse me." Don't be implored to interact. Ejo, I needed to say that from my chest. This behavior is ancient. Thank you for your participation, even though it's for the next few minutes. So, this one, storytelling. Creative monotones, structural classic. I deliberately put it here because a lot of people might be thinking, so, okay, you have spoken all this grammar. So how do we really, really open our mouths? How will I say I want the opportunity? Even though we've talked about how to have a elevator pitch, how to know my personal value statement, how to find my right network, how to map my network, even though you said all those grammar, how will I say it? Because some of us may need that help. There are various dimensions to when we want to ask for opportunities. There are very many, and it's not even limited to this. In fact, these three that I wrote, they are acts of public speaking. Because people, naturally, when you want to ask them for help, it's mostly in a public space or for people who you are not familiar with. So how do you go about it? Storytelling is the one where, people typically use when they are making a pitch, a formal pitch. If you've been in a pitching competition before, You would have seen this a lot. People start with a story, they put a plot. Mrs. A used to go to, maybe I want to start, I want to use a practical example. Maybe I'm looking for a job. Yeah, practical example. And I'm sitting in an interview and they ask me a question. I cannot use a storytelling approach. But when I go to a pitch, I can use a storytelling approach. So what is a storytelling approach? It's communicating a problem that I think I can solve in a way that there is life to it. We've all watched the movie. We've all probably read a novel or a magazine. It's depicting a character outside of yourself or depicting what other people have seen. You cannot use this in a professional setting. A lot of people actually make the mistake of using this in a professional setting. You're seeking for a PhD or a postdoctoral opportunity, and you're first of all telling story that you don't understand. You're saying actually, so help your boy now in a very informal way. Help your boy now. Who is my boy? What does that mean? Oh, mama. Oh, this mama. You know now your boys are hungry. You're in the trenches. Somebody who you want to say to that I need a job. We call it street language, but in the act of it, we're actually telling stories. When you need something, in fact, people that are probably, converse with me a lot and they want to send me a message, if you say hello, good morning, it's just going to be there. Because honestly, the morning is always good. Jesus is on my side. Can you tell me what you need? Because half of the people that you're going to be talking to, they are busy, their attention is short, they want to know what you need. Don't hello good morning anyone without following, and you're not waiting for them to, you're waiting for them to be typing, so that you say, oh, it's typing, I'm going to wait. Hello, good morning, Mr. Adesanya. Hello, sir. Hello, Prof. Please, can I take 10 minutes of your time? I would like to discuss so. You have to be clear. Good morning, Mama. Please stop the storytelling. You don't need it. It's very informal and it's not needed in a professional setting. When you're just with your friend, you say, hey, guy, those kind of things. You can do that. Creative monotones is when you have, you know what you want, but you can be funky with it. You can have conversation with, good morning, Sheon. I'm interested in, there's this thing I saw on your page. I mean, it sounds really nice. Can you tell me more about it? What you have done is you have shown your interest, right? In asking for a favor. Or you meet someone in a conference. There's something I wanted to talk about and I've skipped it, but I will talk about it. But you meet someone in a conference and you see what the person has done before. Creative monotone is when you can buy into the heart and mind of that person by saying, hey, guy, or sir, sir, I read your book and I really like this. This spoke to me. This spoke to me a lot, and I've been doing something around that area. Can I spend some 10 minutes to you? I know that you are very busy now. Can I arrange 5 minutes or 10 minutes of the time? Half of the time they will stop and say, tell me. Because you have grabbed their attention creatively. You have told them, I'm interested in you. I'm following you up and down. The structured classic is the one I personally like. Hi, Tia, good morning. Do you know anybody who can help me with this? I know, or I don't know. I'm going to give you straight up. I will not think about it. But in doing this, you also have to know the person you are talking to. If I'm talking to a strong connection that I've known for a long time, honestly, I can take any approach. I can even leave a voice note and say, sir, or prof, or a, or, and then I go into prof. I read something about this groundwater resistivity. Are you working in that area? Because I don't know. Or I go, prof, my next phase of life now, I want to do this and this. Do you know anybody that can help me? half of the time, you know that it is that person that can help you. Don't go and ask, do you know, Prof, I want you to mentor me. Please, don't ask for mentorship. Nobody should, after this long, nobody should come and meet me and say they want to be mentored. And please don't, let not the first thing that comes out of your mouth say, I want to be mentored. Because I think the world is sick of mentorship now. What you should be seeking for is sponsorship. See, my next phase is that I want to get into UI. I want to lecture at UI. Do you know anybody there? Quiet. Do you know anybody there? That's a structured classical. You know what you are going for, but you already have a relationship with this person. You cannot say that to someone who you don't know or who you just met in 6 months, who you have not clearly told this is my value. Creative monotones always work. Always work. I've been following you for a while, sir. I like what you're doing in this space. I don't know if what I'm doing is related to it, but do you have some few minutes? I'd just like to share my current project with you or my research thesis with you. When you're going to speak to HR, it's structured classical. You're going to go with accomplishments. Mrs. HR, good afternoon. How are you today? Do you have 10 minutes? I would like to book a virtual connect with you. Or you sit with your manager. It's going to be structured classical. Good morning. And it's not with a frown on your face. Hi, good morning, George. How are you doing today? My current boss name is George. George, how are you doing today? Oh, I'm very well. Okay, George, do you have 10 minutes to spare now or you want me to book time later? Or is it urgent? Well, for me, it's very urgent. Maybe not for you. You see, I've told him that this conversation I'm happy to have it. To you, it may not be urgent, but for me, but nobody wants their manager sad. They say, oh, really? So, but is it really, really urgent? I say, well, it can wait. Or I say, oh, it's really urgent. Depending on what I want to talk about, I'm going straight to the conversation. I'm not greeting him, good morning, George, and I'm waiting for his good morning. I've already received the good morning before he gave it to me. So please, attracting the right opportunity, need decentralization, how you speak, knowing what to say, how you say it is dependent on how long this connection has also been in your life. And finally, to my final point, I'm done. I'm done. I'm just going to share this networking tip generally. For example, you are going to an event, you've done all these things, you know your personal value statement, you know why you are going there, you're clear on what you want, you know how to articulate your opportunity. The first thing is, please do some research in advance. Always ask, why am I getting out of this meeting I'm going for? Don't be an event prostitute. I apologize, but a lot of people are just jumping from one place to the other. I know that word, I should not say it here, but I want you to think about it. It's not every event you attend. The topic, you ask yourself, do I need this at this phase of my life? So that when you go there, you have things that you want to achieve. The second thing is ask for opportunities to be visible. What are the opportunities to be visible? I'm going for a conference, I'm going to a talk, or I'm going for a speech. I'm going to reach out to the person I know there. Let's say I see one of my friends on the flyer. I'm going to say, hey, babe, what's going on? What are you going to be talking about? Oh, I'm speaking on this. So is there opportunity for me to help? When I help, my strategic positioning is different from when I'm just sitting in the audience. At least the organizers now know me, and I know the speakers. I'm not just going there to, oh, okay, he is talking. Okay, let me go and listen now. It's going to be interesting because she likes to say silly things. Ask for positioning. They're going to a conference. It's not to volunteer. Please don't mistake it. Don't make that mistake because everybody will now be saying, I want to go and volunteer. I did not ask you to go and volunteer. Ask for positioning. Can I help you? It's not that I want to go and volunteer. And I hope that we realize that they are different. Volunteer is a state of anything you give me, I'm just there. I'm just happy to take. I just want to be active there. Help is, what can I do for you? What area, what scope is needing help that requires my service that I can help you with in this event planning. That way they will be clear what they need. Not so you want to say, okay, come and wear t-shirts now. Come and say, yeah, stand there. When the people are coming in, you say, hello, sir, good morning, sir. How does that give you the right positioning? Yeah. Third, be respectful of the person's time. When you're talking to people or you're talking to your connection, and this one is not only physical, even if it is virtual, be respectful of the person's time. 24 hours is more than enough, but some people is not enough for them. Because again, the pull for I want to say this in the right way that you guys don't get offended. If you notice, you see the same people speaking at the same events because they are the ones that are known. So their time is really small. Doesn't mean that other people cannot do it. Other people can do it, but nobody knows they can do it. Nobody can speak for them. And this is why I mentioned sponsorship. Be respectful of the person's time. Drop your message and go. And apologize in advance. I know that you're busy. I know that this may not be a good time, but can I book a time with you? Do you mind that, or you think it's something we can do now? And be truthful to the agreement. If you're talking to someone for a long time and the person is already looking like, greeting the whole world, is okay. Just say, sir, let's catch up later. I know that you're busy now, or somebody else is wanting to speak with you. Don't hold. Don't hold. You want to speak to Mr. Adesanya. What is Mr. Adesanya? What did I do? What did he do to me today? Don't speak to trying to think of name, Mr. Kole Show. You are now holding him. You see all the other students are standing. You are holding him because he must hear you. He's no longer listening, just more. He's even feeling repulsed because it's like, but you can see that other people are wanting to speak with me. Yeah. Then the big changer are these two things. Yeah. After you have a meeting with anybody and you get their contact, always write a note recapping what you have discussed. Always do that. That's the way to stay top of mind. They talk to 500 people in a day, but they receive maybe 10 to 11 emails. Those are the people they connect with. And that email should just be, thank you very much, sir, for your time today. I really appreciate it. From our discussion, this and this and this are what we discussed. I'm open to a next conversation at your convenience. Don't force your convenience on their own convenience. It has to be their own convenience. They are the ones that you want the opportunity from. Send a thank you note. Close the loop. Close the loop. Always close the loop when you are in the space of opportunity. And back to where I started from, please check your online footprints. Nobody's going to take any mentor, mentee, or sponsee that the online footprint is a mess. That you're commenting on Bobrisky's page, you're everywhere. I mean, nobody's going to do that investigation, but there's going to come a time that the opportunities that you need would demand that you should be checked out. Would demand that you should be checked out. Every day you are being checked out, maybe not in the formal way, but at a point when you are looking for the right opportunity, you're going to be checked out a lot. People are going to investigate your life. You cannot want to be the MD of a company and your online footprint is a mess and you say people are not checking you out. People are checking you out. For your next promotion, your organization is checking you out. Are you saying the right thing? Are you a true ambassador? There's a level you get to that when you leave middle management, for every promotion your organization gives you, they are going to check you out. Schools check out people before they give them admission. In case you do not know, people are checking you out daily. So finding the right network is not enough. Are you a right person yourself? And this is where I close. Thank you very much. And my apologies for taking 7 minutes more. But thank you. That's where I close. Sean, back to you.
All right. What a grand way to end the Nape YP Career Development Month. I mean, the applause is coming in. Thank you so much, TA, Mrs. Tunbosun Afolayan. I mean, there have been several comments in the chat box. I think the other time when Julius was asking, his follow-up question was, his follow-up comment rather was, nice converse. Oh, okay. Before that, thanks, TA. I was only trying to get to know what level I am currently at with the different types of connections you have mentioned. It is clear now and much appreciated. Thank you so much for that. Okay, the obvious comment was when you were mentioning, oh, companies wanting to look outwards, and a comment was they're looking inwards when you're looking for freelance. But thank you so much. I mean, it's been very interactive. I'm even, aside from the fact that you had mentioned I shouldn't remind people to speak. It's been so interactive because a lot of questions I'm sure have been answered along the way, and with the very practical approach towards this session. So, but again, I'm still going to leave it very open. At this moment, anyone can come up, whether through the chat box or using the mic, to ask whatever question or to seek any clarification want along the way. Okay, there was also another comment from Julius. Nice conversation. HR does not give promotions to people. You've got to demand it with your documented accomplishment. Nice. Thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, it's been a wonderful session for me. Oh, thank you for letting us know that networking is about preferring help. Several comments just gushing in. For me particularly, I know when the conversation started, it was for everyone to be able to answer networking and then how to identify and then find those opportunities, and finally communication. It was so interesting. You got me because you now went further to talk about what this communication was, that it has to be very clear and compelling. It shouldn't be just one directional. It should be in two direction, whether with you speaking to someone else or to a group of people, but it should be a conversation that the other person is also able to understand. I also like the fact that two different people, I think Abel and Tobechuku, came up to make comments concerning that. Personally, for me, if anything doesn't make me want to network, it is the fact that there was a comment you made. You said it in passing, but it got to me a lot. It was that most people build a network without knowing when they will need it or use it. So it is advisable you start to build that foundation now for the future. And on this note, I don't know if anyone wants to say anything, make any comment. It's such a grand way for me to end this career workshop month. If anyone has anything to say, please feel free to unmute. Okay, there's a question, different comments coming in. Thank you for letting us know. Thank you for your time. And question from Timothy. How do you balance self-promotion between modesty and arrogance?
Thank you very much, Timothy. That question, I was waiting for it. How do you balance self-promotion, modesty, arrogance? Let's start with me. Use me as your case study. So, was I arrogant in this class? It's okay to say I'm arrogant, so it's not a problem for me, at least. Did you feel I was arrogant?
Not at all.
Not at all. But did I still eat on nerves?
How would you mean? I'm not
Did I
quite
still
sure.
say the truth? No, did I still say the truth? Even
I
though
would
they were
say yes.
uncomfortable truths, did I still say them?
Very well. Yes, you did.
Okay. So the thin line between arrogance and modesty is your authentic self. If your authentic self is a show-off, prim and proper person, it's no longer arrogance. That's who you are. So arrogance in the lens of self-promotion, we judge it by who we think we are. But that's not it. It is who the person is. So another person will come into this class and go through this same learning completely different way. And another person will teach this in a very articulated, one after the other way. So when and I use this as an example. So when you read people or you observe people, also observe them from the lens of who they are, not who you think they are. Tunbosun is very conversational naturally. Tunbosun, there's nobody I cannot, have a conversation with, really. So if I put out, maybe I want to talk about myself, or I want to read my profile for myself, I'm going to be laying emphasis on the things that I like there and saying, oh, I'm the first West African certified communication professional. I am going to say it with that kind of emphasis. Would you call that arrogance? To some people, it may actually sound like an arrogant statement, but it's my fact. So the middle of it is your authenticity. You cannot judge. There are some things I see myself and I feel like, oh, maybe this is a bit too far-fetched, but I never think of it as arrogance. It's too far-fetched for me, but it's not far-fetched for the person. Now let's go to the classical scenario that plays on our mind. When you see people on social media, some people can dance right in front of it. For some of us, you can't even laugh in front of it. Would you say the person that is dancing is arrogant? Or maybe they have their birthday, they decide to show the the end to end of all they want to show. They want to put it out there. It's not arrogance. It's who they are. To you, it may look like, oh, maybe this is a bit too much. Maybe this is not what I would naturally do. But that's judging through your lens. From their own lens is not arrogance. Now let's lay that on one side. The other side of why this conversation is important is that you must be conscious of the lens of who is judging. If I'm self-promoting myself and I say I'm the best geoscientist that ever lived and all that, and then I need that in my workplace, that statement, and I want to get a promotion, do you think I will still go to my workplace and say, well, I'm the best geoscientist that ever lived? Because in the right context, I'm not. There's even no best geoscientist, so I'm the best geoscientist. That's not a good example to use. I'm a fantastic geoscientist. Let me use another example. Let me not be. How will I be shading myself? That's so wrong. Okay, you want to get a promotion, yeah, and you come with your accomplishments. You write all that you have done in the year. You articulate it. It can be substantiated, and you go to your manager and you say, I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that. Is that arrogance? And you truly did those things. Is that style of self-promotion arrogance? But you now say, oh, my boss should know now. Is it not him I'm working for? I'm not going to tell him. I'm just going to be reminding him of the promotion because I am a modest person. Can your boss remember the work you delivered in January? Most likely not. Most likely not. So the first thing is the context, the lens through which you are establishing this arrogance or modesty. The second context is, who is the judge? Who is the judge? How impactful is this behavior of self-promotion? If I go on, if I put a post on LinkedIn or in a magazine and people are reading it, it's knowledge that I'm sharing. If at the footnote of it, they now write my profile there, is it self-promotion? Is it done in arrogance? That's who I am. Or maybe there's one girl in my class. Before they talk, she's the one that raises up her hand first to answer the question. Because you're uncomfortable with it does not mean that she's arrogant. It does not mean that's who she is. She likes to participate. Imagine that Amara has been speaking here, and some of us go with the attitude of, oh gosh, Amara again. Amara going to raise up her hand that she has this question. But at this point, really, in the scheme of things, Amara may just want to get the attention of the person who is speaking. So the rest of you don't even matter. You must know who is the judge. And you must always judge from the person's lens, not from your lens. So that we don't get irritated by what people are doing because we can't do it. It's a very thin line, but if you can be comfortable and digital footprint, the front page test, these are good ways to, if they put this thing out in the front of a newspaper and they plant my name and they say, this is what I said, how will I feel? If you can clear your conscience and say, I'm not going to feel arrogant. If they come, if somebody says that, if you tell some people that Tunbosun came here and said that some of us are webinar prostitutes, they're going to say it's something Tunbosun can say. It's not far from her. Yeah. So it depends on those those circumstances. Once your conscience is free, it's not arrogance. But yeah, Jesus, I mean, again, now let's bring it back to Jesus, because I already established that in the scheme of things, we are, creature of purpose, right? When you achieve your purpose, should you be shy to say that? Should our preachers should our preachers be shy to tell us their knowledge of the Bible? Because somebody will say, "Oh, this preacher is too much. What does he even know?" So every time he's always quoting the Bible like he knows it, but he knows it. So you have done something so grandiose. Show it in your own authentic self. Whether your authentic self is to, I wrote 4 papers, I'm the best geoscientist in the world, you better show it. If you feel good saying it like that, you know the thin line. It's your conscience that will tell you. It's not me. So what people will think of you is immaterial. But when there's a judge involved, when he has implication, then you want to take account of what that person who is judging you, how the person will feel. Got it? Does it help? It's not the right answer. It's that you're looking for yes, no, this is how it is. No, we are human beings. We are too dynamic for yes or no's. But did you get it? Does it make sense?
I think this was really, really helpful. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
All right. I think the time is fast spent, and I would close out now. Very unusual for us. I think I want to just use this opportunity to thank you, TA, and ask anybody, any first person, feel free on mute, and let's give a feedback, whether it's in form of a vote of thanks, whether it's in terms of learnings. A 10 seconds, max 15 seconds to our speaker for today. It's a very unusual fashion. Just feel free first to unmute and then get on the mic. And Desmond, if you can hear me, sorry, can you please turn off your video before Timothy comes on? I think he's on already. Desmond, sorry. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you, Mrs. T, for the very insightful talk. And honestly, I think this is eye-opening. I've learned quite a lot. I'm really thankful that I was eventually able to connect, because I was mostly outdoors when this was going on. So thank you so much. And thank you also to the organizers of this event. And we look forward to having more of this. Thank you.
All right. On behalf of the Nape YP leadership here, headed by Flora Nusiobi, who is unavoidably absent today because there's another program going on physically in Warri, I want to say a big thank you to our speaker for today. I mean, I've had long time personal meetings with TA, but I'm not going to share that. That's not the focus of the conversation for today. But on behalf of all of us, we want to say a big thank you to you for this eye-opener, for sharing from your, I'm going to say, wealth of experience, because I think you've gotten there for us. And we are indeed very grateful. In the next 5 minutes, I want to share a bit of some announcements to everyone on the call. Yes, several comments coming up at the moment. So please, if you would allow me to share some announcements with you all in the next 5 minutes, and then the program will end the session. All right. So we have programs coming up. Later next week, Saturday, we're going to be having our mentor social hangout, and I think it will be a good opportunity for us to practice some of these learnings from today's workshop in Lagos and in Abuja. Further details will be shared with us. Also, we'll continue to grow the capacity of our members. And this time, we're going to be having conversation on risk and a training on risk analysis and volumetrics of oil and gas industry, the essentials for young professionals that will be delivered by the exploration geoscientist from Shell. Moving on, again, a lot of talks have been around data science, data analytics, and we have seen the need to also want to share with our members. So later in September, we'll be having a Nape YP data analytics boot camp for young professionals, and it's themed data analytics using structured query language, the Oracle SQL. And this will be delivered by Osasuyi Erahon, a software developer, a geoscientist with Tolaram Group. And another capacity building session for members will be delivered by Mr. Onyagba, a production associate at Tesla, and he will be training us on introduction to carbon capture, utilization, and storage, CCUS. This will happen sometime in October. And to close, again, I want to appeal at this point, because as members, there have been so many activities, so many programs that have been planned. And sometimes we try to give benefits to members as is due to them. I want to ask that you please, if you've not paid your dues or if you've not upgraded, try as much as possible to do so. If you're finding it difficult, you can always reach out to the contact shown on your screen, or any executive member of the Nape YP committee. Because as explorationists, Nape is our community and we need to stay connected through our membership dues. Please renew your membership to continue to enjoy the opportunities and to continue to encourage a lot of people who would devote their time to do this. And on that note, I would once again want to thank each and every one of you for attending this closing workshop in this our career development month. Thank you to all our speakers. Thank you to all of you who have joined us, not just today, and to those who have joined us in the previous sessions. I want to say a big thank you again to the organizers, names that I may not be able to mention at the moment. Do have a restful weekend and make sure you continue to keep learning. Bye.